Confidence is attractive. Narcissism can sometimes look like confidence from the outside. I'm not gonna lie, I've never really gotten that from people. I feel like I've never had any trouble telling whether a person was confident or conceited, and I don't understand the conflation between the two, you know? Confidence isn't like, confidence doesn't mean saying good things about yourself. That's just talking yourself up. You can do that, and I do, and I am confident, but that's not the nature of confidence. Confidence is confidence. Confidence is rolling with it. Confidence is running with it. Confidence is being sturdy. Narcissism or being like arrogant or self-absorbed, these feel very different in people. Maybe if all you're looking for is someone who compliments themselves over and over, but why would you want that? Doesn't that get tiring? They've got no other material. The routine gets that old. You know, you've got a partner and all they're doing is talking themselves up. I don't get it. What would you suggest the best thing we can do about a lot of men being shit? Don't you? I can't solve everything. Don't you bring this to me. I've got like 57 videos to young men with self-esteem issues, okay? I'm trying my best. I feel like most people these days are super weak socially, so they want a confident person to carry the relationship. Yeah. You've been on trans Twitter lately? Who boy, they've made a whole sexuality out of being insecure. It's crazy. Setting themselves up for failure. Me? Don't you celebrate that shit. There's nothing, you shouldn't be proud of that. You know? Oh, it's just my style of communication. It's weak and worse, and you should get better. You should improve yourself, you know? Shut up, Vaush, it's hard being trans. Yeah, I bet, since you motherfuckers are so insistent on being down on yourselves. If you had a little bit of confidence, it might be easier. Confident trans person sees the bathroom, uses both. True! That's pretty true. Confidence comes from knowing yourself and your limits. You just can't rely on having a partner or a friend whose job it is to give you a reason to get up in the morning. You can't do that shit. You can't. It's bad. It's abusive to them and it's abusive to yourself, okay? You listen, you were born alone in your own head and you will die alone in your own head. Other people are things that you can do and talk to and love and get along with and so on and so forth. Like they're experiences you can have along the way, but you are always you. There's always a wall here, okay? You have to be secure with you, okay? If you make another person your whole reason for being, you're putting a lot of pressure on their shoulders. You know, this leads to very messy dynamics. You should not be doing this. And you shouldn't take pride in being the kind of person who does this either, okay? Can confirm my last girlfriend was like that, and it was a part of why we broke up. Yeah, if you've got a partner who's doing that shit, you should probably not be with them. Nah, sorry. They got to learn the hard way. I mean, you can be nice to them on the breakup or whatever, but like, holy shit. Like, tolerating a person's perpetual emotional abuse because you think they'll, what, off themselves if you don't? That's called abuse, motherfucker. That's, like, straightforwardly abuse. That's not, this isn't even, like, a cold take. Or, sorry, it is a cold. It's not even a hot take. It's not even, like, an edgy hot take or whatever. It's a cold take. Yikes, dude. Yikes. Yikes. You don't like, emotional abuse? Yikes. It's a hot take to people that need to hear it. Yeah, you know. Well, someday these like 22-year-old motherfuckers in my community need to learn that living every day of the constant up and down cycle of your partner's mood, always like faulting and apologizing back and forth, is not actually normal. Talking to you lesbians. Yeah, my ex threatened to kill herself out of nowhere over text and wouldn't respond for hours. Yikes! Should have broken up with her right that day, yeah. Broke up a relationship because of you, Vaush. He didn't kill himself, yay. Happy to hear there was a good outcome to that, you know? Broke up with an ex who kept saying I would eventually break up with her. Oh, that's a really good one. If you've got a partner who keeps foretelling the doom of your relationship, prove them right and end it. That's it. Oh, yeah, you think it's over? Haha, you have no idea. You got to commit to that one. You can't fix that shit. I genuinely think like people, even stable, good relationships have their ups and downs. I get that, right? There's no perfect arc or trajectory, but some people are just leeches on your energy and you can't fix that. If a person's a willful leech on your energy and your happiness, that's not like, that's just a compatibility thing, okay? I really don't think you can pull people out of that for the most part. Maybe in some edge cases, but like, I don't think so. For the most part, I just don't think that's the case. Let's just stay single. It's safer and easier. It's a skill issue thing, you know? You just have to put your foot down in relationships. If somebody does something that makes you uncomfortable, you just say it. It doesn't matter if it makes them feel uncomfortable to be told that it made you feel uncomfortable. Just do it. You have a partner and they're like needling you for not responding to your text fast enough because you waited 20 minutes because you were in the shower. Say, hey, you're not going to get text back that fast sometimes. I'm doing stuff. Live with it. You know, they're doing the whinging like, oh, do you really like me? Are you mad at me? Shut the fuck up. I do like you. That's why I'm with you. Whether or not I'm mad at you, you asking doesn't help. Shut up. Stop asking that. And if they keep doing that, you should maybe break up with them. Like, these are red flags, people. Vermin, I'm contextualizing this from an advice perspective. Obviously, if you're on the ground, I mean, obviously you have to navigate this dynamic with a bit of care and concern. You know, ideally, you're not just going to go, oh yeah, sorry, that's a red flag for me, goodbye. But, you know, I'm delivering the information. We're compacting it. Some people just need reassurance. Yeah, and if they keep needing reassurance, that's the red flag. What if the thing is basically little to no contact, meanwhile talking to other polycule members? Just don't be in a polycule. Are you even in a relationship? They're not talking to you, but they're talking to Chad Chaddington and Tyrone 9-inch. Are you kidding me? Listen, okay? Being in a polycule healthily is like step 8. You need to deal with step 1, all right? Which is like a regular mutual relationship. Okay, no, that's fair. I'm not trying to be mean. It's just like, I don't get that at all. You know, a lot of the people who are in polycules, you just have multiple fuck buddies. You know that, right? A polycule is defined as like a relationship with multiple people. Would you say that you're in a committed relationship with somebody if all you do is occasionally talk and then go over to fuck? But like there's no romantic or like mutual investment or whatever? A polycule should have multiple people who are like actually intertwined. Not just what, they're all in the same group chat and they all flirt publicly? Ugh, God. I remember being 19. Come on, have some self-esteem. If you want more from a relationship and the person who you're talking to isn't giving it to you, that can be that. You're not going to bully a member of a polycule into, you know, being more romantically engaged with you when they're so disengaged already, they're treating you like a fuck buddy. This is so weird to hear coming from Vaush. I mean, why? I've said this stuff for a while. Nobody says fuck buddy anymore. They just say polycule. There's got 8 members of my polycule. Really? You have 8 people in your polycule. How many of them do you talk to regularly? Like on a day-to-day basis? 1? Okay, you have 1 person you're in a relationship with and 7 extended relationship friend with benefits by association. I'm convinced this is just an online thing. It would be if I didn't live in Seattle. 90% of polycules are either just fuck buddies or a budding cult. True! Every polycule got the mentally ill, mentally ill, mentally ill. True! Again, not anti-polycule. I just say call a spade a spade. If you're talking about fuck buddies, they're fuck buddies. There's nothing wrong with that. I've had fuck buddies. It's fine. That's good. Okay, have fun with it. But don't confuse fuck buddy with person you're in a romantic relationship with, because that's like mistake number 1, man. Just because you're doing the queer variant of the mistake by calling it all a polycule rather than assuming every fuck buddy of yours is a romantic partner, you're just doing the queer version of mistake number 1. The classic blunder. I just want you all to be happy, okay? I think there has to be a different term for that, because that just sounds like non-monogamy, Vermin. It's like the distinction between having a group of friends who casually fuck around, fine, whatever, and then having that, but people are like ascribing to it a committed relationship. I think the terms are important because I've seen a lot of people who don't have a clear, you need to know what the terms are. This is literally relationship mistake number 0 is how big it is. This is the very beginning. Know what your partner wants and what you want and make sure you want the same things, right? Because that shit, like, I feel like the likelihood of you fucking up on this one increases exponentially the more members of your polycule there are. You know, you're increasing the likelihood of miscommunication. But I'm not against the concept. It's just, you know, what's your opinion on relationship contracts? If somebody gave me a piece of paper with their expectations written on it, I would burn it and dump them. Cyanide tablet? I would bite down on the cyanide tablet behind the false tooth. They're probably a Cambion, yeah. Not sure if this is related, but my roommate has been in a very long-distance relationship where their partner has been promising to move here for 1.5 years. My roommate seems miserable all the time. Probably should end that relationship, but I guess it's not yours to end. I don't know, no wonder. I don't know. All right, you're taking a break, Winnie. Having a I promise I'll visit you this summer relationship past middle school is insane. I don't think there's anything innately wrong with long-distance relationships. I mean, obviously they suck, but ideally you're trying to, like, make them in-person relationships, right? That's fine. A lot of people meet people online. I get that. That's fine. The problem, I think, is, like, you both need to be locked in on that shit, right? You both need to be invested. If you've got one person who's, like, pining on the keyboard every night, and the other person is like, yeah, maybe I'll come over sometime. You know, that's not gonna work. There needs to be a heavy level of mutual commitment that you build off of, because otherwise somebody's just gonna get dragged along for a while. You don't want that. Yeah, you need to build. The glory is built on solid foundations, okay? I had a long-distance relationship, drove up to meet every week for several years. We moved in together and have been going on for 10 years. Kikinox, that's fantastic. That's exactly what I mean. That's a success story right there, right? You've got a long-distance relationship. You're both locked the fuck in. You're mewing. You're jaw-maxing, okay? You've got a 90-degree... You could put a protractor to this shit, measure it down to the decimal point, 90 degrees, and then you live together. You've got your goal. That's great. We love that. We love to see happy, because the long... Okay, in my opinion... I think one of the greatest archetypes of people is wife guy. It doesn't matter if it's a wife or a guy. It can be a wife, gal, husband, guy, I don't care. Right? But that's an archetype, you know? And I think that, like, the straights have polluted it. The problem that I have is that what you guys think wife guy is your desperate little puppy dog, early 20s queer love. And it's not. You motherfucker, that shit is not built on solid foundations, okay? There's no such thing as a wife guy who's in their 20s. You hit that shit in your 40s, okay? So you've got people who think that it has to be built on foundations. You can't rush that, you know? You think the Addams Family Gomez shit would work if they had just met last week? No, okay? That needs to be built on foundations. So you want to work towards that, but it requires stability and commitment. And it can be a polycule. I don't give a shit. I just want you guys to be happy, okay? That's it. What the fuck is a wife guy? Watch the Addams Family. What are some, like, all-time wife guy? Oh, Spy Kids. The family in Spy Kids. That's like an all-time wife guy and husband gal. I don't have a lot of people immediately in my mind, but I think that, like, ideally you have to be a little embarrassing with it. Oh, yes. Ben Wyatt and Leslie Knope are wife guys for each other in the later episodes, the later seasons of Parks and Rec. Yeah. Perfect. Exact. Thank you, Vermin. Thank you. Felix from Encanto is also a wife guy. I think, yeah, I only saw Encanto once, but I think I remember wife guy. Well, FMAB Hughes doesn't stick around long enough for the real power. I think it has to be mutual too. But yeah, the goal is to be gay for your partner, regardless of whether or not you're actually gay. He's still the wife guy. He is still the wife guy. Remember non-compete? Yes, thank you for the 57th non-compete reference. We get it. Thank you. I remember my content from a few years ago as well. I was there for it. You know, I was getting a little tired of it after the 16th reference in chat, but the 17th one, that hit. That hit. You got to be a little corny with it, exactly. Cosmo and Wanda are kind of both wife guys. They were in the beginning, weren't they? When I was watching Fairly Odd Parents, I remember they were both wife guys for each other. And then, I guess later on, it changed, because I saw a bit where Cosmo was bitching about his nag wife, and it's like, that's not my Cosmo. The Cosmo I know would never bitch about Wanda in any context, ever. I don't know. In the remake, they're back to being wife guys. Is the remake good? No, let's not get distracted. The art style looks cute, I guess. You know, with like the little, like the painterly vibe to it. That's cute. Moxie and Millie. Oh, that's true. That's true. Moxie and Millie from Hell of a Boss. Easy. That's easy wife guy, wife gal material. 100%. Yeah, they hit it for sure. Romeo and Juliet. No, you're just saying stuff. You have no idea what you're completely out of your element. You're joining a conversation 18 minutes late. Everyone's turned their head towards you. You've got a dozen confused stares. You're sweating. You didn't realize what you said sounded that stupid, but it did. You've revealed your ignorance. And your arrogance, frankly. Everyone's opinion of you is lowering. The silence mounts. You could hear a pin drop. Romeo and Juliet. I thought we were just naming couples. You say out loud. A cough echoes through the crowd. Did this guy really think we were just naming couples? People shuffle on their feet uncomfortably. We might have to not invite this guy in the future. You hear someone whisper in someone else's ear. Okay. We got to move on. You don't want to name wife guys for literally 2 hours. I do think it would be nice to, I don't know, propagate a healthier understanding of love and relationships to the portion of my audience that probably doesn't have much romantic experience, which I'm just going to guess is a significant number of you. You know, we hear a lot of negativity. I'm not anti-relation, like I'm anti-marriage in its legal construct. I'm not anti like being monogamous or anti-living with one partner and having 2.5 kids in a white picket. Well, I am anti-white picket fence. You should be living, single-family housing is a disease. You should be living in like a condominium, but you know, whatever. What's your opinion on aromantics and all this? There's no set definition for romance, okay? Everybody wants human connection. The level that you want, that's up to you, man. That's okay. It's all good. It's fine. I mean, people will say, oh, I'm not aromantic, and then they'll have close friendships. I think there's a romance in that. You mean you're not, like, burning at the heart? You want to, like, you know, marry someone on a cliffside that you've sprinkled rose petals all around? Okay, that's fine, but, you know, whatever. All I would suggest is don't lean on the labels too hard, because sometimes people get the wrong idea, and by people I mean me. Like, you could say, because aromantic to me is like the term makes you sound like a psychopath, but I've never met someone who was aromantic who was a psychopath. It's just when I hear it, it's like, you don't like romance? What, do you hate puppies and life and blah blah? But it's like, that's just the label. In reality, it just means you're not as keyed in on what most people consider to be romance, you know? So maybe just when you're talking about it and thinking about what you want, just try to be thoughtful and not let the label do the work for you. Does that make sense? I feel the same way about asexual. Whatever it means to you, you're valid, okay? Just make sure you let your feelings guide your thoughts and your words, and not just rely on the terminology, okay? You're heckin' valid, is what I'm saying. You're valid, and you're heckin'. Why is Vaush talking about being aerodynamic? Are you walking back some of your dumb ace takes? Now, oh, I'm sorry. Do you want to get into it? My apologies. Any vermin, you? Do you want to get? Oh, hey. You know what? I mean, he's taking like a conciliatory and friendly attitude towards a subject he's argued with chat about before. Let's like prod him. Let's prod the bear. Hey, do you wanna like have a different opinion, man? Hey, do you wanna like talk about it in a more contentious way and thereby not? Is it possible that he's phrased himself specifically in a way to avoid conflict while also reflecting his feelings and trying to like move forward a little bit from the discourse? No, let's bring him back into it. That's fine. If you're ace, you are mentally ill and retarded. Okay, I'm just. That's not true. I mean, you might be retarded and mentally ill in ace, but they would be circumstantial associations, not like causative. It'd be kind of like a, you know, could be correlative, but not causative, at least not with the knowledge I have at this moment. But if I ever find out, it's over for you guys. I get a whiff of that causation, it's over for you guys. Me p-hacking to find like a 0.13% increase in retardation amidst ace people, and the next stream title, I was right! Why do some people in romantic relationships insist they're still aromantic? Why do you think of yourself as a successful person while spending time in BGG? You know, people are full of mystery, and frankly, I don't think it's my place as a, you know, as just like a guy online to really delve into people like that. Fair?